Hello and welcome to the road trip. Uh, we're continuing on our destination. Where the destination is, we're not quite sure, but we've been moving on in that direction for quite a few episodes here, and we're still sort of working through the what exactly we want this to be. Do we want it to be something comedic? Do we want it to be a radio show? Do we want it to be a talk show of some sort? We don't know. I think what I've most enjoyed about this project, as simple as it may seem, has been I've been able to sort of do whatever I want with this, and I haven't seen too many videos like this, and it's I love technology has made it so easy just to see the world around us without ever stepping outside of our homes or our computers. You could take a walking tour of Vegas. Maybe we will one day if we ever get down that in the dirt. If we ever wind up heading that far west. But yeah, so I did have one thing on my mind quite recently. It's people always ask me, you know, do you feel alone right now, living by yourself? For those who don't personally know me, I've been living on my own for past 6 months or so in my little trailer home out here in Worth. And I do have a couple of people. This is a question. First it was one or two people, and now I get quite a few folks often asking me, "Do you feel alone out there? How do you make it through the day, not seeing family? Seeing as how many of my friends and my family are all quite together. We're all fairly a close knit group. Most of my friends live with or near their family, so seeing them almost every day is quite normal. Whereas I am out here, kind of, sort of on my own. Even though I do often explain I have an aunt and uncle just a couple of places down the road. No more than a minute and a half walk from where I am, but they still see me as being on my own. Even though I've also got my cats who are often very comforting. One's actually sleeping on my back as we speak. But no, I don't feel like I'm alone out here. I've always been sort of a introverted kind of person. Often finding myself most comfortable when I'm on my own, rather than with large groups of people, which often make me nervous. I yeah, no, that's something that's been kind of rolling around in my head. I've never been the most outgoing of people. I find myself two or three friends at the most, and you just kind of stick around them. So why should it be any different on my own? I actually enjoyed it. I've learned that food and what bills need to be paid and need to be the amount of money you use for food and bills need to be controlled. This is something I don't feel like too many people around me, uh, you know, have to deal with. But yeah, no, I've often wanted to go ahead and do something, watch a movie, go to a bar, and finding myself worrying, will I have enough to make it through the end of the month, or in my Bill's case, the middle of the month. It's been an interesting experience. I really haven't had too many instances lately where I've felt increasingly alone. Maybe I feel more alone with lots of people around me. I don't know. I often remember feeling in high school and even to some degree college, often feeling very isolated from people despite having lots of people around me. Yeah, so I wonder, maybe I am best off alone for a little while. Currently not in any sort of relationship, seeing as how my last one was a disaster, for lack of better words. I'm actually finding it quite comforting being on my own and figuring out how I want my world to go, rather than focusing on making people around me feel happier. Which is, something we all have to learn how to do one day. We can't. In high school, we're so focused on seeing how other people see us that we often wind up not going ahead and working towards something we want to. Sorry about that. I had to take a quick drink. So, yeah, that's something that has really been on my mind lately, and something I feel like I can throw in a random video like this and not cause too much attention to itself, like some of my other videos where I tend to open up to my audience. We've got about a minute or so left before the end of this video, but I just want to say that it's been really well. The channel's been doing exceptionally well lately with much more viewers than we have gotten in the past. You're having some videos have more than 200 or so views in less than a day, and increased subscribers. I don't come out in too many of my videos and say thank you for watching us, but I do really appreciate it. And I know we're not the biggest budgeted channel. We often try to find ways around it using cheaper equipment, but we do have fun, and it's always been a blast doing my videos the way I want them to do them with my friends, even if we only get the jokes, and maybe down the road we don't quite even understand our own jokes. But isn't that the best kind of humor? The kind of humor we're thinking is funny now. Something we understood at one point in our lives and not later. Well, I think I'm just about out of time. Thank you so much for watching The Road Trip, and we'll keep on trucking. Bye-bye.